the most dangerous predator is the one you never see coming. In a world obsessed with alphas and betas, there exists a shadowy archetype that defies every label, every norm, and every expectation. The Sigma. They don't lead from the front or blend obediently into the crowd. They exist in the in-between, observing, calculating, and waiting. Unlike the peacocking alpha, a Sigma's presence is felt, not flaunted. They're the ones at the back of the room who already know what you're thinking, and they're 3 steps ahead of you before you even blink. Here's a little-known fact. Studies in behavioral psychology reveal that people who operate outside traditional social hierarchies are often the hardest to read and the most dangerous to underestimate. Sigmas thrive in this ambiguity. They don't chase power, they become it, and their greatest weapon isn't dominance or charm. It's something far more subtle, far more chilling. This trait? It's the silent killer of their persona, the ultimate Sigma flex. And trust me, it's not what you think. Buckle up, because what you're about to uncover isn't just fascinating, it's unnervingly close to home. Oh, and one more thing. If you think you're immune to a Sigma's influence, they probably already have you figured out. Number 1. Refusal to play zero-sum games. Sigmas have an uncanny ability to dismantle the rules of competition without anyone realizing what's happening. While others are locked in zero-sum games, where one person's gain means another's loss, Sigmas refuse to play by those constraints. They don't just think outside the box, they walk past it, question why it exists, and then build a strategy that renders it irrelevant. They see opportunities in places no one else is looking, which often leaves their competitors scratching their heads, wondering how they missed it. For a Sigma, winning isn't about crushing the other person, it's about reshaping the game so that there's nothing left to compete over. They find paths where none existed before. While others waste energy fighting over limited resources or social positions, the Sigma quietly sidesteps the battle entirely and creates an outcome that serves their goals alone. This approach is so subtle that most people don't even realize they've been outmaneuvered until it's too late. What makes this trait so dangerous is its unpredictability. Sigmas don't telegraph their moves. They don't announce their intentions or draw attention to themselves. Instead, they observe, adapt, and act decisively when the time is right. This unpredictability gives them an almost unfair advantage, leaving those stuck in conventional strategies utterly unprepared. In the end, the Sigma doesn't just win, they redefine the meaning of success. The others might still be fighting over scraps, debating who's on top, but the Sigma? They've already walked away, having quietly taken everything they wanted without anyone noticing. It's not cheating, it's not luck, it's pure, unrelenting strategy. And the brilliance of it? They'll leave you wondering if they even cared about winning in the first place. Number 2. Obsessive curiosity for forbidden knowledge. A Sigma's obsession with forbidden knowledge isn't just intellectual curiosity. It's an unrelenting need to explore what others fear, ignore, or deem off limits. Where most people shy away from taboo subjects or uncomfortable truths, the Sigma dives in head first. This isn't reckless behavior. It's calculated, almost surgical. They understand that the most powerful insights often lie buried in the places society avoids, and they're unafraid to dig deep to uncover them. This trait makes them uniquely disruptive. By seeking out knowledge that challenges conventions, Sigmas expose the cracks in systems most people take for granted. They question not just why something works, but why not when it doesn't. Whether it's challenging long-held beliefs, exploring controversial ideas, or mastering hidden skills, their relentless curiosity equips them with perspectives and tools others can't even comprehend. The danger lies in how they use this knowledge. For a Sigma, information isn't just power, it's leverage. They don't seek forbidden truths to flaunt them. They use them strategically to reshape their environment, break down barriers, or create entirely new systems. Their insights can be revolutionary or devastating depending on how they're applied. The Sigma doesn't adhere to traditional moral frameworks, so what they uncover can either enlighten or destabilize, depending on their goals. This curiosity also makes them incredibly resilient. By willingly facing the uncomfortable or unknown, they develop a mental toughness that allows them to navigate challenges others can't. They thrive in uncertainty because they've already trained themselves to confront it. The Sigma's obsession with forbidden knowledge isn't just about intellect, it's about power, autonomy, and the audacity to question the limits of what's possible. And while others fear what lies in the shadows, the Sigma turns the unknown into their greatest ally. Number 3. Mastery of dual personas. Sigmas possess an extraordinary ability to maintain dual personas, a skill that allows them to navigate the world with unmatched adaptability and control. On the surface, they can appear approachable, relatable, even charming when the situation demands it. They know how to blend in, disarm suspicions, and create an air of familiarity that puts others at ease. People often feel as though they've made a connection with a Sigma, but that's only the version the Sigma has chosen to reveal. Beneath this curated exterior lies their true self, private, enigmatic, and fiercely guarded. Sigmas are experts at compartmentalizing their lives, revealing only what is strategically necessary while keeping the rest of their thoughts and intentions locked away. This duality is not a deception in the conventional sense. It's a defense mechanism, a way to maintain control over their autonomy in a world that constantly demands transparency. What makes this duality so dangerous is its unpredictability. Most people are used to dealing with individuals who are either consistently open or consistently reserved. Sigmas, however, defy these patterns. One moment, they're the relatable colleague sharing a joke at the office. The next, they're an impenetrable wall, completely unbothered by attempts to dig deeper. This ability to switch between personas as needed leaves others perpetually unsure of where they stand. The Sigma's mastery of dual personas isn't just about survival, it's about power. By controlling what others perceive, they control how others react. It's a form of psychological camouflage that allows them to operate in plain sight while remaining fundamentally unknowable. For those trying to pin down a Sigma's true identity or intentions, the effort is often futile. By the time you think you've figured them out, you're likely only seeing what they wanted you to see. Number 4. Calculated risk addiction. Sigmas are wired differently when it comes to risk. While most people approach it with caution or outright avoidance, Sigmas see risk as a necessary ingredient for growth and success. But don't mistake their boldness for recklessness. Every risk they take is the product of deep calculation. They analyze the variables, weigh the potential outcomes, and only proceed when the odds are in their favor. To them, risk isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity to outmaneuver the cautious majority. This calculated approach sets them apart from both reckless thrill-seekers and overly cautious planners. Sigmas don't gamble on blind hope or gut feelings. They thrive on strategy. Whether it's in their career, relationships, or personal endeavors, they move with a mix of logic and daring that others find both inspiring and unsettling. They're willing to venture into uncertain territory, not because they enjoy danger for its own sake, but because they understand that the biggest rewards often lie just beyond the comfort zone. However, their approach to risk is not without danger. Sigmas can push boundaries so far that they end up playing on the edge of catastrophe. Their confidence in their ability to calculate every outcome can sometimes lead them into situations where even a small misstep has enormous consequences. Yet, this is part of their allure. They embrace the possibility of failure because they know that extraordinary achievements are impossible without it. What makes this trait so compelling is the balance they maintain. It's rare to find someone who can take risks without letting emotions cloud their judgment, and Sigmas have mastered this equilibrium. Their calculated risk addiction drives innovation, defies limitations, and keeps them ahead of the curve, living proof that fortune truly favors the bold, but only when the bold are also brilliant. Number 5. Mastery of disguise. Sigmas possess a remarkable talent for blending into any environment without ever drawing unnecessary attention. This is not mere adaptability, It's a conscious, calculated skill that allows them to navigate social landscapes as if they were invisible. Whether it's in a boardroom, a crowded social gathering, or an unfamiliar setting, the Sigma instinctively adjusts their demeanor, tone, and presence to match the situation. They can appear as though they belong anywhere, yet they remain elusive, never fully revealing their true selves. This mastery of disguise serves a purpose far beyond survival. It's a tool of observation and control. By seamlessly fitting into their surroundings, Sigmas gain access to information and insights that others miss. People naturally lower their guard around someone who seems non-threatening or unremarkable, and in this lowered state, they inadvertently expose their thoughts, weaknesses, and motives. The Sigma absorbs it all, silently building an arsenal of knowledge to use when the time is right. What makes this trait truly dangerous is its stealth. Unlike overt dominance or charisma, the Sigma's ability to camouflage is nearly impossible to detect. They can play the role of the quiet observer, the eager participant, or even the unassuming outsider, all while concealing their true intentions. Their adaptability ensures they're never boxed in or labeled, making them unpredictable and difficult to confront. This deliberate invisibility isn't just about avoiding attention, it's about controlling it. When the Sigma chooses to step into the spotlight, it's always on their terms, and by then, they've already shaped the narrative to their advantage. Their mastery of disguise isn't deception in the traditional sense. It's a strategic choice that allows them to operate in the shadows, unseen but never uninvolved. Number 6. Detached patience. The most dangerous trait of a Sigma is their unmatched ability to wait. While others rush into decisions, act impulsively, or burn through their energy in a hurry to achieve something, Sigmas understand the immense power in patience. They are not bound by the need for instant gratification or the pressure of quick results. Instead, they excel in long-term thinking, biding their time and watching the world unfold around them, often from a distance. In this quiet waiting, they gather critical information, observe the moves of others, and carefully position themselves so that when they act, their impact is undeniable. This detached patience is a hallmark of the Sigma mindset. While others act in haste, motivated by urgency or emotion, the Sigma remains calm and deliberate. They can wait for days, months, or even years for the perfect opportunity to present itself, and when it does, they strike with precision. This ability to control their impulses and wait for the optimal moment gives them a unique advantage, often catching their competitors off guard or out of energy. Their competitors might burn themselves out trying to outpace the Sigma, while the Sigma remains steady, constantly gaining ground, inch by inch until the time is right. This patience doesn't come from passivity or indecision, but from an understanding that rushing only compromises the outcome. Sigmas don't need to force their hand. They understand that their patience is their secret weapon. By the time they act, they've thought through every angle, observed every potential outcome, and have already set everything in motion to ensure success. While others tire, the Sigma is still calm, still watching, and still positioning themselves for the decisive moment. It's a form of quiet dominance, one that often wins not through speed, but through sheer endurance and the power of perfect timing. Number 7. Brutal self-honesty. Sigmas possess a level of self-awareness that is brutal in its honesty. They don't just reflect on their flaws, they dissect them, confront them head-on, and acknowledge their weaknesses with a clarity that most people simply can't handle. Where others hide from their insecurities or mask their faults, Sigmas expose them to themselves without hesitation. They are ruthless in their self-assessment, not because they enjoy criticizing themselves, but because they understand that the first step toward true power is complete and utter transparency with oneself. This brutal self-honesty is what makes Sigmas so formidable. Because they've already stared their weaknesses in the face, they know exactly where they're vulnerable. And more importantly, they know how to turn those vulnerabilities into strengths. Whether it's acknowledging personal limits or recognizing destructive patterns in their behavior, they don't allow their flaws to define them. Instead, they address them proactively, long before anyone else can even point them out. They'll take steps to compensate for their weaknesses or even transform them into advantages, making their vulnerabilities just another piece of their overall strategy. At the same time, their awareness of their own flaws doesn't breed self-doubt, it fuels self-confidence. By acknowledging their imperfections, they free themselves from the fear of failure or judgment. They aren't paralyzed by the possibility of being exposed, because they've already exposed themselves to the harshest truths. This ability to ruthlessly confront their own limitations and operate from a place of unvarnished self-truth not only gives Sigmas a sense of control over their lives, it also allows them to exploit their strengths with unparalleled efficiency. In a world full of self-deception, Sigmas are an exception. They see themselves clearly, which allows them to navigate life with a sense of confidence and purpose that most people can't even imagine. Number 8. Silent psychological manipulation. Sigmas don't rely on loud displays of power or dominance to influence others. Instead, they employ a much subtler form of psychological manipulation. Their strength lies in their ability to operate under the radar, shifting dynamics with almost no one noticing. They don't need to assert themselves overtly or make grand gestures to command respect. They know how to use silence, timing, and a few carefully chosen words to exert control. It's the quiet moments that give them power. They understand the unspoken rules of human interaction better than anyone else, and they can exploit these to plant ideas, nudge decisions, or subtly alter perceptions without ever making a direct move. They might ask a question that causes someone to rethink their assumptions or withhold a response that leaves others questioning their own actions. Sigmas excel at reading the room, picking up on micro-expressions and sensing shifts in tone or body language, allowing them to manipulate conversations, moods, and outcomes without uttering a single commanding word. What makes this form of manipulation particularly dangerous is its invisibility. It's not aggressive, it's not confrontational, and it's certainly not obvious. In fact, the Sigma can make others believe they're acting of their own free will, all while gently steering them in the direction the Sigma desires. This psychological jujitsu is a silent, invisible force that often leaves those affected unaware of how their thoughts or behaviors were influenced in the first place. Because it's so indirect, this form of manipulation is much harder to detect or counter. Most people, accustomed to more straightforward forms of control, never realize they've been subtly led until it's too late. And in that moment, the Sigma has already won, having shaped the outcome with nothing more than the quiet power of their presence and words. Number 9. Ethics as an afterthought. Sigmas view ethics not as a set of rigid rules to follow, but as a personal, evolving construct. They don't subscribe to conventional moral frameworks or the expectations society tries to impose. Instead, they create their own codes of conduct, which are based on logic, pragmatism, and personal values, not on blind obedience to social norms or inherited beliefs. This makes their actions unpredictable, often walking the line between brilliance and moral ambiguity. Where others might follow the well-trodden path of right and wrong, Sigmas are more likely to question those definitions entirely. They see the world as a complex web of opportunities, where actions are judged not by whether they adhere to a predefined moral code, but by their outcomes and effectiveness. To them, the ends often justify the means. If a situation calls for bending or breaking ethical rules to achieve a greater goal, the Sigma will do so without hesitation or guilt. They aren't swayed by public opinion or concern for what others think is right. This mindset can make their behavior appear dangerous, even reckless. While society might deem certain actions as immoral or unethical, Sigmas are more focused on the bigger picture and the results of their choices. They might manipulate situations, challenge authority, or break laws if it serves a purpose they deem worthwhile. This makes them difficult to predict and manage, as they don't play by the rules most people accept without question. The Sigma's approach to ethics is not a rebellion for its own sake. It's a practical, results-driven way of thinking. Because they are untethered from conventional morality, their actions can seem ruthless, but to them it's simply a matter of doing what needs to be done. Their moral flexibility allows them to navigate situations others wouldn't dare enter, often emerging with what they want, regardless of the ethical compromises along the way. Number 10. Fearless truth-telling. Sigmas are unflinchingly honest, even when the truth they speak is uncomfortable or inconvenient. They have no tolerance for the sugarcoating or avoidance that so many people rely on to preserve social harmony. If something needs to be said, they say it, without hesitation, without concern for the potential fallout. This fearlessness in telling the truth sets them apart from the majority, who often tiptoe around sensitive topics or hide behind pleasantries to avoid conflict. Their blunt assessments of reality can be incredibly refreshing for those who value authenticity, but they also carry a risk. For many, hearing the truth can feel like a slap in the face. Sigmas aren't interested in being liked or maintaining the illusion of comfort. They understand that the truth is sometimes harsh, but it is also necessary for growth, clarity, and progress. They see through the masks people wear, and when something is wrong, they don't hesitate to call it out, regardless of the discomforts it may cause. This directness can be jarring to those unprepared for it, where others might soften their words, hide behind diplomacy, or avoid addressing difficult subjects. The Sigma cuts through the noise. Their words may alienate people who are not ready to confront their own flaws or the harsh realities of their situation. But for the Sigma, it's not about making friends or maintaining peace. It's about confronting the truth head-on, regardless of the emotional turbulence it might stir. While this brutal honesty may cause some to shy away, those who can handle it come to respect and even depend on the Sigma's clarity. It's not about cruelty. It's about cutting through the confusion and delusion that so often cloud people's judgment. Sigmas understand that the truth can be uncomfortable, but it is always the starting point for real change and progress. In the world of the Sigma, success isn't about following the crowd or adhering to the expected norms. It's about carving out a path that is uniquely their own. The traits they possess, whether it's their ruthless self-honesty, mastery of disguise, or their ability to remain calm and patient while others falter, form a powerful toolkit for navigating a world that often thrives on predictability and conformity. Sigmas are not bound by societal rules or driven by the need for validation. They move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that their true power lies in their ability to stay unnoticed until the moment they decide to make their move. They understand that the game isn't won by those who rush, but by those who strategically wait, observe, and act when the time is right. This ability to control their actions, thoughts, and interactions with such precision is what makes them both fascinating and formidable. They are the ultimate disruptors, quietly reshaping systems, altering perceptions, and pushing boundaries, all without raising a flag or announcing their intentions. To the outside world, they may appear unpredictable or aloof, but inside they are meticulously calculating every move. In the end, the Sigma is a master of their own reality, unconstrained by the limits of conventional thought and never afraid to rewrite the rules. Whether they're blending into the background, manipulating a situation with subtlety, or making a bold, calculated move, they do it all on their terms. And while others may chase fleeting moments of success, the Sigma's quiet, deliberate approach ensures that they not only survive, but thrive, shaping their destiny with a confidence and power few can even fathom. If you found these insights as captivating as we hope, don't let them slip away. Hit that subscribe button. Join us on this journey of uncovering the extraordinary traits that shape the most fascinating minds.